As the drum roll started on that day, like 100 miles away, a million shells were fired, and the green fields turned to grey. The bombardment lasted all day long.
The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Austria-Hungary handed Serbia a long list of humiliating demands. Serbia accepted nearly all of them, except one. For Vienna, it was enough. Austria-Hungary placed their artilleries across the Danube River and began shelling Belgrade on July 28th. It marked the beginning of the First World War. To the southwest, the Kingdom of Montenegro was anxious. Montenegro and Serbia were old allies in Balkans. Both were Slavic kingdoms. Montenegro had a small army of 50,000 men. However, on 6th August, Montenegro declared war on Austria-Hungary, the first ally to stand beside Serbia. But as superpower, Germany was already devastating Russia. The question is, can a nation smaller than Mizoram survive? In August and September of 1914, Montenegrin troops moved into Herzegovina. Their tactic relied on raids. Montenegrins hit Foča, Gatsko, and Bileća. These weren't full-scale invasions, just diversionary attacks to relieve pressure from Serbia. Then came the artillery duels. From late 1914 to 1915, one of Europe's strangest battlefront formed on Mount Levštine, a steep massif over Bay of Kotor. Montenegrins held the high ground and settled in position to fire on Austro-Hungarian navy far below. But Austria struck back hard. Their modern naval guns turned Adriatic Sea a floating artillery. The result was stalemate. By late 1915, the war had turned. Central powers had a new ally, Bulgaria. Speaking of Bulgaria, forget Serbia. When British were defeated by Bulgarians, the Serbian army collapsed under pressure and began its historic retreat through Albania. Only one harsh escape route remained, but someone had to hold the line. Montenegro, though exhausted, had a simple role: guard the southern escape route. Fightings broke out in South Montenegro subsequently. On the Orthodox Christmas 1916, Montenegro was prepared for final stand. Near the town of Mojkovac, Montenegrin troops waited. They were cold, exhausted, and out of ammunition. For 2 days, in freezing snow and mud, Montenegro held on. They didn't fight for victory. They fought to buy Serbia another day for escape to the Adriatic Sea. But elsewhere, the situation was beyond saving. On January 8th, Austro-Hungarian forces launched a massive offensive again at Mount Lofchen. This time, with support from naval guns, field artillery, and elite troops, the Austrians overwhelmed the defenders. On January 11th, Lofchen fell. Second Battle of Mount Lofchen, Austro-Hungarian victory. 2 days later, they entered Cetinje, the then capital. Montenegrin final resistance broke down. King Nicholas I fled to exile. Montenegro officially surrendered on January 25th. This was the only nation Austro-Hungary could defeat on its own might. Montenegro would remain under Austro-Hungarian occupation until the end of the war. It never saw the glory of victory. When the Great War ended in 1918, the world map was redrawn, but Montenegro disappeared, in spite of being an allied power. In 1918, after Austro-Hungarian collapse, Kingdom of Montenegro was officially abolished. It was annexed by Serbia. Among Central Powers, Bulgaria survived. Among allies, Montenegro didn't. Montenegro would be forgotten henceforth in political geography, up until 2006, when they finally gained independence from Serbia.